Hey y'all, I just want to touch base on a few things. And those few things are very fucking intense, actually. Very intense conversations in regards to topics that apparently are happening or have happened. And people want to put a blind eye to it and say that it didn't happen or it doesn't happen or it never occurs, or that which it happens to this person or female or boy or whoever or child is that it's their fault due to a conditioning put in them that if you're there, it's your fault, even though you didn't ask for it, even though you didn't want it. And I want to talk about rape. And I know it scares people every time I talk about the word rape, but rape means non-consensual sexual activity. And why do people rape? Rape does not necessarily mean that you are sexually doing something to arouse the person who's about to rape you or who is raping you. It's very evident to me and to many people that there is a conditioning put on a child of a boy or a girl or a young girl or an adult woman that if she comes out and tells people she was raped or that she was forced upon or she was put in this situation, the main thing in majority of cultures, and I'm saying majority of cultures and religions and society, is to blame the girl. Why were you there? Why were you doing this? It's your fault. So on and so forth. But you have to understand, it doesn't matter what a girl does. A person rapes because that person wants power over. They want power. Do you understand? So as an example, my mom's so-called friend, okay, after my dad died, my mom's so-called friend, who had been previously married twice, who had previously 2 daughters from each wife threw him out because he was an asshole. He cheated on his first wife with prostitutes. The second wife didn't want to put up with him, so she threw him out, okay? He moved to Canada. He lived with his sister. His own sister and niece fucking threw him out because he tried sexually assaulting his own niece even. And he found out because of the abuse that my family and my sister-in-law from Yerevan and her brother from Yerevan, who's now in California, tried to, harass me and my family, blame me. So he obviously found out that when I was 15 and when I was younger, I was raped. Okay? Yo, I'm telling you right now, to get me physically raped is very difficult. It is so fucking difficult. As you know, I'm an asexual. I'm not attracted to people. I don't feel sexual compulsion to be with people. I don't get allured to people. You're never gonna find me sexually or seducing someone. If they're saying that, that's a fucking lie, because I can never recall myself showing up naked somewhere, being on top of someone and saying, "Come F me." I don't ever recall these behaviors at all. So for people to say something, it's just unacceptably, it's not what I do, it's not how I behave. So for me, even if I'm in an unconscious state and I'm drinking and I'm intoxicated, I still would never engage in that shit. And people have tried. So when I was 15 years old, I've said this to you guys on my channel about a year and a half ago. My best friend planned my rape, okay? I was drugged immensely where I couldn't physically move, bro. I couldn't fucking move, okay? And I recall I kept going in and out of a state of consciousness. I don't remember. All I know is I was beating the shit out of the guy, but I do remember I kept knocking out. So I don't know if he was hitting me and I was knocking out, or I was just, because I was high, I was being knocked out, okay? Or I was just like drunk. I can't recall that part. But I do remember fighting this guy off to the point of no fucking tomorrow. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, and she's nowhere to be found. And every time I'm crawling to get up, I'm being knocked back down and dragged back down on that fucking couch. So this may be hard for your ears to listen, or maybe not. Maybe you enjoy this type of stuff to listen to, but I'm bringing this up for a good reason, because I've mentioned this so many times. There's many women's empowerment groups that watch me all over the world. And there's also some independent people and organizations here in Armenia. They're taking notes and they're realizing that this is taking place in Armenia and within the Armenian communities so often, but it's being disclosed and it's being covered up, and the girls are being blamed for shit that's not even their fault. Okay? So you have to understand, I was always blamed from my family. My brother wouldn't talk to me for 5 years. He wouldn't talk to me. Not one fucking word. My brother would continuously beat me because my mom would say, you have to beat your sister up so she doesn't go the wrong way after she's been raped. Nobody can find out about it. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not allowed to go seek therapy. You're not... Bro, like, I wasn't allowed to fucking talk about anything. I wasn't allowed to... Keep your mouth shut, Talat. Nothing happened to you. You put it in your mind that nothing happened to you. Nothing happened to you. It never happened. Nothing happened to you. This is also gaslighting. Remember, watch my videos. Okay. Obviously, what happens to a girl is she starts to act different because her needs are not being met. She's not being heard. Her own family is not there for her. They're leaving her. She's not allowed to do anything. She's not allowed to seek help. She's having reoccurring thought patterns come back to her mind of how she's being belittled and fought and degraded. Fuck the fucking situation. It's the whole situation with the family and the best friend that's the hard part. Where's the best friend? All of a sudden, she shows up. When I'm dragged outside, she showed up and she says, I didn't know what happened to you. You're making it up. It's in your head. The same mentality as my mother. So if this type of conversation bothers you, don't watch this video. But if it does, where you're like resonating and you want to learn more, or this shit's been somewhat happened to you, subscribe to my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment, send me an email. Know that you're not alone, because there's people out there that understand you who have experienced so much torment. So going back, I wasn't allowed to seek help. I wasn't allowed to tell a single fucking soul what had been done to me. And on top of that, I wasn't allowed to be, I never had family or friends around me, man. I saved myself. Spiritually, emotionally, I kept saving myself. I remember I was breaking out. I had beautiful, clean skin. I was breaking out. I gained weight. I used to be skinnier. I was healthy. I was active. I used to run, you know, bicycle, all my passions. So yeah, you know, your own father, your mother, your family, your brother, your sister, everyone tells you it's your fault, it's your fault. It was my brother-in-law that took me to get checked at the hospital, man. We were there for hours. He was there. He was yelling and screaming at my sister and my family. You guys are horrible family members. You're a horrible mother to my mom. Your daughter's been raped. There's proof. They all checked me out. There was proof. They're like, we can take it to court if you're ready. I was ready. And my mom's like, no, I don't think you should take it to court. And she's like, if you take it to court, it's not even 100% sure it's going to be on your side. And it was all lies, you know. So we decided not to do anything about it. And I just grew up in a state of, I went through psychological crisis. Like that's when I started walking around with knives and daggers in my fucking pockets and underwear. I'd be up walking the streets and just, you know, causing problems with people, or if they caused problems with me, I'd set them straight. And there were certain people that realized or saw that I was acting different. I was very mature at a young age. If you saw pictures of me, guys, or how I would talk and be, people would say like, you're in your 30s, 40s, when I was like 14, 15, 16, you know? I was very mature, very wise. This shit would have been unheard of for me to get raped. Because I was never, if it was up to me, like, I would have been a spiritual priestess, or like in some church or coven, like, and remained virginal all my life, because I never really fucking cared. I didn't care. Never cared about marriage, never cared about sexual activities, even though I looked mature, full breasts. Okay, so there was the sense of pride there in regards to nobody can find out. It's going to ruin our reputation as a family. It's going to ruin our reputation in our household. No one's allowed to find out in the Hancherian family, Hotoyan family. The daughter's been raped. No. None of the uncles are allowed to find out. No one's allowed to find out. Years go after, my mom has a stroke. Going back to my mom's friend. Older man with 2 daughters. Divorced. No one fucking wants him. living alone, renting, can't speak English. He finds out my mom's in the next room having a stroke. After she had a stroke, pardon me. Sitting on the couch, he tries touching my breasts. As he's trying to touch my breasts, he's turned around, he has a hard on. I fucking grab his hand. I slam it. I slapped him. I fucking run upstairs to my room in my wash. I'm in my washroom with the door locked. I turn the shower on. I'm screaming. Why the fuck does this keep happening to me? There you go. The trigger. The trigger since when you're younger. The shit that happened to me, right? Out of nowhere, as I'm crying, my sister calls me. I'm like scrubbing the shit out of my arms. Any ounce of touch that he's touched my arm, anywhere where he's touched my breast. He turned around and he started trying to hug me, man. I could feel he got a hard on from the hug. I told my brother, and he goes to me, oh, he's an old man, he can't get a hard on. Oh, the fuck he can't get a hard on, you know? And who's to say I didn't tell? They all blamed me. For what? Existing. My sister calls me out of nowhere. Is everything okay? I had a weird feeling. I'm crying. Why does this shit keep happening to me? What the hell's happening? I told her. She goes, I'll deal with it. I'll talk. She's just like, don't tell my husband. Don't call the cops. Don't tell anyone. I'll deal with it. I'll tell mom. We'll figure it out. We'll throw him out. This girl, my sister, has never shown me she's been a sister to me. She's never been reliant. She's never been trustworthy. She's shown me accurate consistency of calling the police on me when I've never done anything. She even blamed me when I was a teenager that I was having sex with her own fucking fiance at the time. Are you kidding? Your own fiance took me to go get checked, and it was proof that I got raped from someone else. The whole family is fucking psycho. And you guys are still asking me why I would leave my family and never want to speak to them again. There comes a point, I'm 36, man. If I don't check my mental health, I'm going to turn mentally fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? So, continuation. So what happened? My mom calls me from downstairs on the phone. Talat, is this true? Did this happen? I said, yes. She says, okay, I'll take care of it. A week goes by. Apparently he's calling my mom crying. What kind of man cries? Crying every day, leaving voice messages. I never touched your daughter. She's making shit up. So she invites him to our workplace. We had a food business at the time. I got to work there for free as usual. I'm at work working for free. And she says, Manug is coming. He keeps crying. He keeps saying that he never touched you. I said, why are you talking to him? He's manipulating you. He's coming. He wants to prove that he didn't. I go, how can he prove when it was just me and him there? You're sick in the next room, about to die. The nurses told me, don't bother your mother. She's on the verge of dying. She had one of the worst fucking strokes you could possibly imagine. Don't tell her anything. Don't bother her, nothing. I remember going to the next room, seeing her face was gray. The same face my dad had when he fucking died. They pulled the plug on him. And till this day, I'm crying. I still cry in the middle of the night. How I watched my father die. So, with the same face, she looks like she's on her deathbed, you know what I mean? I fucking went upstairs to my room crying. So, we're going back again. Anyways, fast forwarding. He shows up to the work and we get a lineup. So, it's not like my mom or my sister can even hear what he has to say. But I was pissed off because I'm like, why are you guys even giving him allowing him to come here? And he's just like, I never touched you. I said, listen here. I was the person that was there. It was me. You fucking touched me. I'm not hallucinating. That was a touch. And then when my sister walked away, my mom walked away, he said, okay, it could have happened. And I said, what do you mean it could have happened? He says, yes, okay, it happened when they were gone. Then he told me, because you told everyone I'm going to do revenge to you. You know what he did? Since that day, every week until now, he buys my mom flowers to shut her the fuck up. He bought her a diamond ring. Okay? He gave her $10,000 straight up. Until this day, after that $10,000, he pays her about $1,000, if not more, a month. He pays for a lot of shit. to shut them up. And he said, I'm going to do revenge to you. He got the entire family against me. He started instilling it in their mind that I started seducing him, that I showed him that I wanted him. How the fuck do you do that? How the fuck do you do that? Till this day, I asked my sister, what the fuck did I do? Give me a fucking answer. No one can give me a fucking answer. I contacted my cousin, my older cousin Lucy. No answer. I contacted my uncle, my youngest uncle Razad. He's a drummer. So since we're getting into real topic, he just kept saying, I'm going to do fucking revenge to you. I'm going to do, because you told your family everything. You told your family everything that I did. Everything that happened. So I'm going to do revenge to you. He went, he bought her a diamond ring. Around $5,000. Buys her flowers all the time. Make-believe marriage. Why would you even want him? My mom never even wanted him before. All of a sudden, after he touched me, my mother wants him? What the fuck is going on here? I recall that is when my spirit broke out of my body and I started getting into like occultism extreme. I was even in a group where I was even being, on top of that, assaulted in other areas. Then pushing it to another side, I remember my uncle Razad, my mom's youngest brother, he would always say, if you need me for anything, I love you, you're my favorite, contact me, message me. I text message him. I'm like, Razad, you have to come over. I don't have time, I'm working, sweetheart. Razad, you have to come, I have to talk to you. He finally shows up, I tell him everything, right? I've said this before. I told him everything. You know what he says to me? Tell her, if it was me, I would have touched you a long time ago. Look at you. Look at the way you carry yourself. Look at your appearance. Look at the way you talk. It was then and there. It hit me right then and there. I found out he was raped when he was a kid. By who? His own family member. His cousin. His cousin who fled to California. I also find out my mom was touched by her own fucking uncle when she was a little girl. It's common, apparently, in my own family. And they keep fucking covering it up as if it's normal, or that the person who's being victimized is the problem. I cannot comprehend this mentality here. I don't fucking care if you're born in fucking Haleb, Aleppo, Syria. I don't fucking care if you're born in whatever country, in whatever situation, man. Rape is not normal. You should be getting fucking help. You should be getting support. You know, there's certain people here that know about this situation. They say, Talat, and I don't believe in God, man. Because as time goes by, the older I get, the less I believe in God. They said that was the hand of God. Because you know what? When your own family is jealous of you because you're seeking help, when you're doing better for yourself because they couldn't do it, because they had peer pressure that they're the problem, or their families told them that they're the problem, or they shouldn't be getting help. My uncle had many years of a drug addiction. He would fucking do so much damage to everyone. He became part of the mafia. And he told me to my face, the root problem was because I was raped by my own cousin when I was little. Allah na bajana sikim. The answer is right fucking there. And they want me to be like them. And you guys still ask me, you still tell me why I'm going to cut my family. There comes a point in a woman's life, man. Her self-esteem, her morality is far more important than anybody else, anything else on this planet. My mom is 70 years old. Razad is in his 50s, 60s too. 50s. Enough is, all these decades and years have gone by and I still sometimes cry myself to sleep because I'm like, all I ever wanted was a fucking family. You know what I mean? And that shit cannot be duplicated. And when it's instilled in your head as an Armenian that you have to get married and that's when your life gets better, it doesn't. Why? Or that you're not good enough or you're not worthy enough and you shouldn't be getting education or you shouldn't be living your life. I should have left when I was 17 when I had all those job opportunities and diplomas ready for me and a house. You know how many times the government was giving me a house because they found out what was done to me? Do you know how many times I chose my family because I wanted a family? Listen, I'm here to fucking tell you, whether you're Armenian or not, if you're experiencing these things or something even similar, choose yourself. Even if it's scary, just choose yourself. Don't do what I did. All I wanted was my family. Yeah, this is very similar to an honor killing. It was really killing of my spirit, really killing of my value as a girl, my self-esteem. So from, like I said, when you watch me, it's these days moving forward, it's all about me, man. I don't care about anyone else anymore. And the thing is, till this day, they will never admit it. They cover it up with Talat is the one that wanted Manuk to be here. That was before he sexually assaulted me, people. When there is an assault, you remove the fucking assaulter. You remove the perpetrator. If it was my own daughter, I would kill the man and risk going to prison with pride, with a smile on my face. If this happened now and I had a gun, I would put a bullet right to my mom's fucking forehead and or her mouth and in my brother's fucking balls. Why? Why would I do that? To show them how a family member should fucking be. You're supposed to protect your family members. This man, Manuk, after he did this to me, he did this to my niece, my brother's little daughter at the time. She was a few years old. I told you guys the story. I had to get the fucking government involved. The government, Children's fucking Association came involved and investigated. Was going to file a lawsuit against my family. And what did they do? The whole family gangs up and says I'm the problem. Yo, why are you having an old man sleeping with a baby? The whole family's fucked up. They can't admit that they have faults. I want nothing to do with them. As I said it again, and I'm going to say it one more time. If this happened right now, I would place a gun to my mother's fucking mouth and her forehead and my brother's balls and show them exactly how a family